Well, hello, fellow model builders. It's Brian, and I'm hoping you all are having a good Monday, as I am, because we're doing a final on our March to Space group build that we are doing. This is hosted by Matt over at ESU Warrior, and I talked to Matt and asked him if it was okay if I did a Star Trek ship, and I told him that I had started this a little while ago. We had painted it and all that kind of stuff, but we hadn't done any assembling of parts, and we hadn't done any decaling. And he was like, please do go for it. So we're pretty stoked about that. We worked on this pretty solid for almost a week, just doing the decals, because it is covered from stem to stern and then beyond with nothing but decals. We just did a base coat of it was a Tamiya paint. It was I don't remember the number, but it's titanium gold. This is just regular Tamiya TS21 gold, so you can see that this gold is a little bit lighter. I decided to do the base in gold. I thought that would be kind of cool. And now I'm rethinking as I see it sitting here on this dark gray background. I was a little inspired by how Aztec Dummy does his finales with putting stuff on a star field and stuff. And I thought, oh, cool, let's get a piece of black fabric out of the pantry or wherever we keep that stuff. Linen closet, that's the thing. I shouldn't be keeping stuff in the pantry like that. But could be why she's always mad. And I digress. So I thought, well, let's dig through there and see what we can find. And the only thing I could find was this stupid lap blanket that we got from American Airlines when we got bumped up to first class one time. But in my defense, I did have a good trip that time. So anyway, back to the show. So yes, nothing but decals, front to back, bottom, side to side, whole thing. They refer to these as wallpaper decals, and let's just show you. This is just one handful of trash from that. So I was saving that so I could share that, and now I can throw it away. Yay! But or recycle them. I guess I could put them in recycling. But yeah, it was a lot of decaling. I went through. I had like a half a bottle of microsol left. I ended up having to finish off that bottle and crack open a new one, and that's how much solvent we had to use on this, because the decals are thick, they're very robust, and when they do break, you will hear them literally snap. It's like little itty bitty fingers snapping. I'm like, my God. But the hardest areas that we had trouble with, BG, where are you? So every time I turn on the camera, he runs and hides. The hardest areas we had trouble with was along here, the top of the warp nacelles, because I'm not sure if the camera's picking it up very well, but there's a ridge down the center, and then there's another little ledge, and then there's another ledge with a scallop inside that ledge, and that's where the wraparound decal, because decal goes from like one side over the top and down the back side again. It was the worst area I had decal problems with. So what we ended up doing was just slathering it with solvent several times, and then I finally went back through with the hobby knife and sliced it through here, and that seemed to work out really, really well. It helped everything hunker down a bit. Let's see if we can get up close and personal with that. So that's not too bad. I mean, there is a couple little areas where it's still not hunkered down, but I don't mind. Another area that was a little bit tricky was these little areas right in here. The decal film, the printing of the decal is cut to fit around that, but the actual carrier film itself needs to be trimmed around these little rectangles and stuff. So that was a pain in the neck, but we still got it. I had seen HPI guy do this, and that's why I was inspired to do this particular one. Back when he posted his video, that's back when I actually started this. And one of the bits of advice that he had suggested was, wherever there's the little bumps for the phaser emitters, sand those off. Don't worry about trying to get a 3D aspect on that kind of a thing. So I did that. I did that on the saucer section, and then I completely forgot to go over the rest of the ship and find out where the rest of them are and take care of those. So I do have a couple of little areas here and there where I had to slice around the decal film in order to accommodate the little bumps and ridges and such. So here's the thing. We did a flat coat on the top of this, and then we were really happy with how it looks. And then we wanted to flip it over and do the flat coat on the bottom. And two things happened. One, the spray booth fell apart, and we've all seen the videos about that. And two, I ran out of flat clear, so I didn't do the bottom. So here's the top, of course, and see how nice and dull that looks and everything. But we turn it over, and we still have that glossy decal sheen. And it's amazing how much a flat coat will hide the crimes of poor decal work. I tell you what. So when we started decaling this, we started on the bottom, this piece right here. This is the first piece we laid down because we knew that this wasn't going to be seen as often as the rest of the ship. So I'm always going to display this below eye level so nobody sees over the top of it. But it's, I don't know what decal this is, if it came off my ship or not, but it's stuck to my finger now. But yeah, I need to hit this with another coat of transparent clear. Transparent clear. My goodness, I haven't had enough coffee today. A flat coat, and then finish it up. I do want to do a little bit more detail work around the Bussard collectors here. I don't like my blue paint job. That looks kind of sloppy, so we're going to clean that up a little bit. I think both sides are that bad, so yeah. But all in all, it wasn't that bad to put together. There was a couple of little fit issues with, first of all, this fitting in place. Second of all, how the nacelles fit onto the pylons there. We just had to go after. There's little C-shaped bits of plastic that are supposed to clip onto pegs that are inside there. They don't want to cooperate. I just got out a round jeweler's file and opened up those C-shaped bits a little bit, those connector bits a little bit, and slipped it right on there, dribbled a little bit of super glue inside the nacelle, and then slipped it in place, and it was home for forever. Here's a nice coming at you shot. Yeah, so there's a lot of transparent pieces that come with the kit, so you can mimic like the bridge lights and stuff like that, the chiller grills that are along the side there and everything. And I have seen people actually light this kit, and this is a small kit. It looks large, but it's actually very small for what it's supposed to be, because this is 1,240, 1,000, wait, is it 1/2400 scale? Wow, I am all over the place today. 1/2400 scale. So that sounds like it's supposed to be super tiny, and it kind of is. While I was working on that one, I had the inspiration to go ahead and dig out another Star Trek kit to work on, and I worked on this guy, the Bird of Prey. Big fan of these ships from Next Generation. And then the movies, of course, too. This one came in the 2-pack kit. It came with, no, not the wrapper. It came with the USS Grissom. I think this is the Bird of Prey that actually destroys the USS Grissom. And I still have the Grissom to work on, but I decided to work on this guy here. And we did, we had a lot of fun with this one, doing all the weathering and all the washes and stuff. And it's like the only craft in Star Trek that can be legit, beat the hell, and look great still. So, I mean, the Klingons, they're a warrior race. They have more important things to do than washing things like themselves. But we had a lot of fun working on this guy here. We did hand paint the wing area here. I did that with a flat red Tamiya XF7, excuse me, and I just did that with one of these little micro brushes that we can get, and I don't have any more. Okay, hey, I'm out of those. That's awesome. The little micro brushes, and just went over there. So I intentionally had it look uneven, and then we just did a Tamiya panel liner black wash over the whole thing, swabbed off what we didn't want. It was, if it was a little too thick here and there, and then was pretty much rattle can. which went really fast since this is pretty small. This is a 1/1000 scale, so this is scale-wise larger than the Discovery. But man, we had a blast working on this thing here. We finished it up just last night. Got the decals on there. There's only 4 decals for this bird, which was nice compared to the Discovery. That was a decaling nightmare. We can still see that that's ghosting a little bit there. But after I got done working on this guy last night, I was just kind of staring at it, and Mrs. BG was like, "You did a really good job on that. That looks great." I said, um, of all the sci-fi kits I build, usually it's Millennium Falcon or some sort of Star Wars thing. This is the first 2 times I've ever done anything for Star Trek. And I am so happy with this little guy here that once we start having model shows again, this guy would actually be on display at one of those shows. So I'm really pleased with this little dude, and I'm really glad that I stuck to my guns and finished this guy. So I'm hoping to do more Star Trek stuff in the future, because it's a lot of fun. Even though there's a lot of decaling work and stuff, it's still a lot of fun. All right, guys and gals, thanks for tuning in yet again. We're going to go ahead and say adieu and go off and do some household activities, and we'll talk to you a little bit later on. Everybody take care and have a great day.